Welcome to the final part of our 4-part series we've put together as a tribute to our warrior women engineering community. Up to this point, we've completed modeling Wonder Woman's iconic tiara, and we're about halfway through modeling her indestructible bracelets. Let's wrap up the series by adding the final details to the bracelet. Let's start with a sketch for this W-shaped cutout on the top of the bracelet. I'm just sketching an enclosed sketch in a W shape and dimensioning it to be fully constrained. Before actually doing the cut operation, I'm going to do a few extruded bosses, and I need to reference these construction lines that extend from my cut sketch. So sketching on the top plane again, I'm going to sketch a 0.3 inch thick V shape whose inner lines are collinear with the W sketch I just created. Once it is fully constrained, exit the sketch and let's unhide that thickened body we created earlier in the series. With our last sketch highlighted, navigate to the Extruded Boss tool and we'll do another boss from a surface, this time referencing the outer surface of our thickened body and doing a blind extrusion 0.04 inches. Now we want to cut the back portion of the bracelet to have an angled look similar to the front. But recall we built the back elliptical profile rotated about 15 degrees, so if we do a cut through the part from the right plane, the cut will come out a little bit off kilter. So we need to create a reference geometry that is positioned at a slight angle to the right plane. To do this, let's first unhide sketch 2, which is the front profile sketch we used for our initial boundary. Then select the right plane and navigate to Reference Geometry, Plane. Rather than offset our new plane from the right plane, let's select the angle option and set it to 4 degrees. Then we need to select a reference to rotate this plane around, so we can use the vertical construction line from sketch 2. The new reference plane is fully constrained, but looks like it's rotated in the wrong direction, so click the flip offset option to rotate it the other direction. Now I'll just resize the plane to make it easier to see, and then sketching on this new plane, create an enclosed sketch, which we'll use to cut the angled look into the back of the bracelet. Once happy with the angle you've set, exit the sketch and simply do an extruded cut on the mid-plane at a large enough dimension to cut through the whole part. Now let's create some band detail on the back portion of the bracelet. Sketching on our newly created reference plane, I'm going to unhide the sketch we just used for the cut operation, and I'll use the Offset Entities tool to offset just the angled line. If this operation defaults to offsetting the entire sketch, make sure this Select Chain option is not checked. Let's offset this angled line 0.35 inches and then just pull the endpoints to make sure they pass the boundaries of the part. Exit the sketch and hide the bodies we don't want to split. In this case, we just want to split the outer thickened body we created earlier. Highlight the latest sketch and navigate to Insert, Features, Split. Hit the Cut Bodies button and then select the larger portion of the body, leaving the Consume Cut Bodies option checked. Now we can unhide the other bodies and finally complete the extruded cut through the top of the parts with the W sketch we created earlier. Let's create one final W-shaped extrusion with a sketch created on the top plane. Notice I'm using the Convert Entities tool to make sure the upper shape of the sketch will match the existing geometry. Once happy with the aesthetics of this, exit the sketch and do another extruded boss from the large outer surface of the bracelet. This will be the thickest area, so let's do a blind 0.04 inch extrusion. So with the basic extruded design elements done, we can start adding the scribed detail lines in the part. We'll do this with a series of projected sketches and the swept cut tool. Let's start with the scribes that go around the back of the bracelet. First, create an offset surface from the right plane. Here I'm offsetting at 0.25 inches to make sure the plane lies somewhere within the channel area we cut through the bottom of the bracelet. Sketching on this new plane, I'm just drawing a few arcs to closely match the curvature of that thick outer band on the back of the part. Now in a second sketch, we'll create an arc offset from the first arc 0.25 inches. Once you're happy with the shape of the arc, exit the second sketch and navigate to Curves, Project Curve, and select the large outer surface of the bracelet to project the curve onto. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to repeat this operation, sketching on both the right and top planes for all of the different scribe lines. I'll catch you on the other side. So here we have all of our projected sketches laid out, which we'll use as paths in a series of swept cut operations. Rather than creating a separate profile sketch for every one of these paths, we can use a shortcut. Under the Features tab, navigate to Swept Cut, and rather than use the Sketch Profile option, we can use the Circular Profile option, where you can designate a diameter to use for your swept cut. Keep in mind that the sweep path will lie at the center point of the circular profile. We want a very thin scribed line in this case, so I'll set the dimension to just 0.01 inches. For our case, we want the ends of the sweeps to sit flush with the walls that they terminate against, so I'll ensure the Align with End Faces option is turned on. Here you can see the difference of having this on versus off. So I'm just going to repeat the exact same sweep operation for all of the paths that I've created. There we have all of our scribed detail. To make the part a little more comfortable for Diana to wear, I'm just going to soften up a bunch of the edges with some basic symmetric fillets on some of the sharp edges around the part. Now to give this bracelet some final touches, let's just add some steel and gold appearances. I'll first drop a brushed steel appearance into the open area of the workspace to make the whole thing steel. Then I'll come back and add a matte gold appearance to the individual features and faces that I would like to be gold. Once I have all of the features and faces selected that I'd like to be gold, I'm going to enter the Advanced Material Properties area and navigate to the Surface Finish tab to change the gold appearances to have a brushed finish as well. So here we have a nice replica of one of Wonder Woman's indestructible bracelets, though it's quite a bit less battle worn. Both the tiara and bracelet Solidworks models are available for download. Just click the link in the description below to access the parts. Thanks for watching, Solidworks users, and thanks to all you warrior women in our lives for all that you do.